So, what you've just seen there is a quick glimpse of what it's like to cross the border from Hong Kong into the mainland. It's never fun and almost always stuck in queues. You'll see a more detailed look at crossing the border in my upcoming Surviving Shenzhen series. Anyway, what was I doing in Hong Kong? I went there to go and see the new James Bond movie. Why go through all the hassle to, cross the border twice, fill up my passport with stamps, etc.? Well, I'll tell you. The new James Bond movie has a lot of scenes set in China. I know they've got scenes in Shanghai and also in Macau. Now, traditionally, if there's anything to do with China in movies, either they don't release it here, or they cut it pretty badly and they cut out anything that might make China look bad. So I didn't want to take the risk of going here. First of all, in Shenzhen, in the mainland, movie tickets are more expensive for new releases, a lot more expensive than in Hong Kong. For instance, if you go to a movie here, a new release, you will pay, it's ridiculous, like 120 or 130 RMB for one ticket if it's like a 3D film or something. Or maybe like, I think the lower end price for a new movie would be about 80 or so RMB. It's very expensive. It's more expensive than any cinema I've ever been to overseas. I mean, in the UK or in South Africa, it's all those places, it's a lot cheaper than over here. Now, I know people do use some kind of Groupon thing where they go buy online or they buy in certain shops or whatever, and they don't actually buy at the ticket counter and it can be cheaper, but I couldn't be bothered with that kind of thing. Also, I don't go to the cinema often. In fact, the last time I went to the cinema was probably a year ago. So, that's the main reason I went over there. You can also get salty popcorn in Hong Kong, and you can't find salty popcorn on the mainland. They only have that horrible sweet stuff here. Anyway, welcome to another episode of What's Happening in China. Now, when I crossed the border, it reminded me, well, when I was standing in that horrible long queue, which that queue, by the way, took me about half an hour to get past, and then there's a second queue going through the mainland customs. There are two sets of customs. So, the whole process took me an incredibly long time, as usual, like about an hour. I noticed in the queue there are lots of people with big tins of milk powder. Now, this is quite a well-known thing, and a very strange thing. Okay, everything is sort of manufactured. Most of the things are made in China, but a lot of the things made in China are actually much cheaper to buy in Hong Kong. Now, why is that, you might ask? It sounds a bit strange. Yes. Well, you see, in Hong Kong there's very little sales tax, almost no sales tax, because the population density is very high. So if you want to buy, let's say for instance, I bought this watch, okay? This watch of mine that I bought, this is a Casio Edifice or whatever it is. Come on, focus, you piece of rubbish. Give me a second. Let me get the brand in there. Someone was asking me about this watch. There we go. It's a Casio Edifice. I like Casio. It's a good brand of watch. I had the G-Shock before. I really like this watch. Anyway, I bought it in Hong Kong, and it cost me about, I can't remember the exact price, but about 1,100 odd Hong Kong dollars. It wasn't too expensive. It was on special though. Over here for the same watch, I went to go look in the shop. It works out to be something like 800 Hong Kong dollars more. Okay, so yeah, I would be paying actually 800 RMB, I think. So it's stupid. Some big brand items can cost you a huge amount more here, like an extra 1,000, extra whatever. If you want to buy a Galaxy S3 or an Apple iPad or something, you will pay a lot more here. I'd say a good 20% more here on the mainland than in Hong Kong. So you have this thing, it's this phenomenon called micro trading. And what people do is you got people who, that's all they do, is they cross the border in the morning, they go to the first stop on the Hong Kong MTR, which is Shangshui station. They get off there, they buy huge amounts of stuff, they all sit around there buying things. and then they get back on the train and they head back over the border and sell their things here at a profit. There are huge problems with smuggling. People are always trying to smuggle in memory cards, computer components, iPads, iPhones, big electronic consumer electronics, and they're always trying to crack down, but it doesn't stop. That happens all the time. And one of the biggest products that gets bought over from Hong Kong is milk powder, for babies and infants, for two reasons. First reason, the milk powder is cheaper. Okay, you can buy the same brands here on the mainland, but they're much more expensive. So that's number one, price. Number two, not that long ago, there was that big scandal where a whole lot of babies got kidney stones, and a bunch of them died because of the one local mainland dairy who made the milk powder. They added melamine or whatever, like a stupid industrial laminate, as to make it look as if it had a lot more protein. So they sold this tainted milk powder, killed a bunch of babies. So the confidence in the local dairy products and milk powder and whatnot basically disappeared. So people would rather buy the imported stuff from Hong Kong than buy the local brand of whatever. So those are the two reasons. So yeah, that's just it's only a phenomenon down here in Shenzhen and Hong Kong in southern China, but this micro trading thing, it's interesting and it's happening all the time. Now, sorry for the quality of this video. I'm using my phone. Unfortunately, I brought my camera along, but I left my SD card at home, which is really smart. But I have a couple of things I wanted to say in this episode. Number one, I have finished filming my next China How It Is. It's all about pollution, and that should be up hopefully by the end of the week. It's been difficult to find time to do proper filming. I've just been too busy at the moment. And I wanted to say a big thank you to one of my subscribers who recorded some music. He's really good with the guitar. He's got a really nice bike. And he started watching my movies, and he's got a channel where he basically just makes music. Small little channel about his music and his bikes. So I'm going to put a link to his channel down there in the description, because all the music you're going to be hearing, for my intros and things like that, from now on are going to be things that he's put together for me and done. And I think he's really good. So. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it, man. And that's it for this episode. I'll catch you all next week. I can't wait for this terrible weather to sort of let up. But anyway, see you all in the next episode of What's Happening in China. Cheers.